Okay, warm is good. What kind of reading should we do today? It's 11:11. Message in a bottle. To the sea. Wow, okay, these are both water cards. I like the looks of that. Oh shit. Okay. Voyages or incoming messages. Moving on. Receiving the message to move on. So that you can finally arrive here. Bittersweet. Emotional. There's a baby elephant here. Abundance, earth abundance. It's a big theme this week coming up with the eclipse and 11:11 portal. We're waiting for it. I ignite the fire within me that connects me to the divine. Yeah. And rest. I find peace in nature and connect to spirit. Okay, so that's basically a combination of both of the cards. It's so bright that it doesn't even focus. Okay. Learning. This is definitely about that moment. Taking the moment after maybe a loss or a hard time to pause and connect with spirit, which is generally when we are pushed back in that direction. So the earth is here to support. Abundance is coming through. You know, if you're working hard, maybe you're about to unlock a bunch of money, but you're tired and you need to rest a little bit before the next grand adventure, before the checks arrive, before that person has cleared up their life a little bit, so that new adventures can begin between you guys and get to the good stuff. I love this little card. Oh, here we go. There's the sweet spot. The sweet spot. That's a message. You might be switching your soul connection at this time, going from one, maybe potentially long-term, doesn't mean you have to be with them, but like some sort of entanglement or involvement, something that's leading you to a sense of like, okay, I'm like pausing to accept that I just like, you know, lost something. I don't want it anymore, but like, I need to acknowledge that before the next thing. You don't want to bring stuff into, you know. No. Okay, let's pull some tarot. Let's pull some tarot. This really needs to be cleaned up. The energy here was feeling dirty. And it was actually literally dirty. So I'm sometimes a little bit, I'm not a clean freak, that's why it wasn't, but like then I'll like see that and be like, I can't continue until that is clean. Just a little bit about me. Okay, let me tap back in. Okay, so this is kind of relating back to like the liminal space. This is like another little dimension of it, another layer of it that's feeling a little bit more watery and like, but kind of still that like in between. The rest, little pause. Where you go out to the sea, and that's kind of like the other side that I feel like we're sensing and we don't know exactly. I mean, I can see certain things. Obviously this is collective, so I can't say for everyone, but just in a general sense, I think we can all agree that the world is different, you know, than it was, and that it's not, it doesn't really feel like a complete solid like done thing to me. It feels like the visual I'm getting is like if you're like trying to fire clay in a kiln and be like, this is done, it's ready, I'm gonna paint it, and I'm gonna be able to like drink tea out of it, this cup, or use it to plant something, whatever. And I'm seeing like basically water is coming from somewhere. It's not rain, but, and it's just continuing to be like slippery, and things are falling off. Things that have been like slipped and scored are not staying in place as planned, and you're just kind of like scrambling to like put it back to the way it was so you can throw it in the kettle. But the unexpected tides of the earth have interrupted or disrupted something, and now you have to reform it a little bit, mostly because it's just there's no other option. It's the original form's been compromised. Okay, so let's get into which part. At a day's end, let's pull on that energy. Yeah, okay. So this is resting up before a soulmate comes in. This is the same card I pulled yesterday. Six of Cups. Tarot don't lie. It's crazy. Alright, Ace of Swords. Yeah. Whew. This is like, you know, kind of harnessing your power and maybe even chopping some people, places, or things out of your life. Being like, I got the power. Like knowing you're like abundant and powerful and getting clarity on this and being like, I'm gonna like axe that and yeah, make space, weed whacking, you know what I mean? 9 of Wands. Yep. It's calling for that because, you know, you've just been through some stuff, you know? This is the wounded warrior, the lost battle, so you kind of at that point when you're exhausted, which this is kind of saying that potentially that energy is here, at closing up this cycle at the end of this battle or whatever, and yeah, you have to at that point muster up everything you've got really and be like, okay, I'm standing up again, you know, that kind of vibe. I don't want to make it too like aggressive, it doesn't have to be like that. 8 of Pentacles with a message in a bottle. So either you're going to receive some communication from somebody who has mastered something or is very much into their work, and that's why there's a pause. Maybe everyone's working on something, or maybe quite literally somebody or you are working on mastering some sort of message. Maybe figuring out a way to say something, but I think it's more like I don't even, it could honestly be like a very like grounded, not overly emotional, but love confession. Like somebody just got caught in your web and they're like, the world. Complicated. Intricate. Spiders are also abundant, so we're getting a lot of abundance. So this might quite literally be like a message from somebody who's just like a work of art to you, or like a masterpiece. It's just maybe somebody like that's just perfect because of space you've made. You know, the world is coming out right here in the center to the sea, so yeah, the leap up on the table. This is the most powerful card in the tarot. It's the end of the cycle. It's everything. There's like a rainbow here. I don't even know if you can see that. It's too bright. And, you know, it's kind of faint, but it's a spectrum. Layers and parts of your version of yourself that you shed throughout this journey at this final stop, which is the world, you know, and because of that, you've been able to see yourself bloom. That's such a nice message. Also at the bottom of this deck is the 10 of Cups, so that's also milk and honey. It's a duplicate message, really. Which can be like a fantastical happiness, ultimate card, but like happy, it's not. But because there's this other earth and this pentacle and this earth energy, it's really, it has the potential to really be something sustainable, legitimate, long-lasting, grounded, things like this, things of this nature. All right, I can't see the reading. Let me see what's under. Oh yeah, to the sea. Okay, so something's wrapping up before the next. Okay, this person's sitting in a boat and they look a little glum, honestly. There's no wind in the sails or any waves taking her anywhere. She's kind of just like, but there's a vast sea around them, and ooh, Treasure Island is off somewhere in the distance. I'm surprised we haven't gotten that card yet, but it's kind of in this nature. We're still in the building blocks, that's why. We're not in the Treasure Island energy yet. It's in the distance. You know, still kind of laying the groundwork, putting the pieces together, collecting ourselves after maybe something that was a little bit disappointing. Yeah, there's some conflict around Treasure Island. So I guess if we're going to continue with the ocean metaphor, you know, that could look like not really believing that there's land out there, not knowing how to get the sail up to be able to actually get there, worried about if a storm is going to come, wondering if we're strong enough to make the journey, and just doubting if we'll ever get there, so we never even begin to start like taking the paddle to just like slowly start getting somewhere, really moving. And that's because it's still rest and healing mode. So it's another duplicate message we got here. In my opinion, for me, it's a same as kind of like at a day's end rest. It's a very similar frequency. Okay, and to the sea. So, you know, healing after heartbreak before we go on and journey out to find what else we find in the vastness of the reality that we create. Okay. Yeah, there's something though. Ace of Cups and 10 of Pentacles. So, yeah. There is definitely something good out there. Okay, this is like, again, this balance of like, you know, it's new and light, it's coming out as a page, it's a new, you know, emotional waters that, yeah, it's like finding yourself in some emotional waters. Maybe there's somebody around, but you don't feel quite ready. Maybe your heart's not quite ready, but there is, maybe you want to learn about them a little bit right now. While you're like sitting there like healing, scrolling. That's what I'm doing now. I don't scroll that much. I just like listen to things all the time. That's my problem. Yeah. Whatever this new thing is in the distance, it's just under wraps right now. You know, there is a spiritual element to it, which is cool. The High Priestess just came out, but the High Priestess is also silent, so it's, you know, I don't think there's much communication yet. As I said, there's work to be done before a message is sent. Okay, that just came through. You need to stop. You need to stop. This cat is out of control. Such a lover, but like you just saw that, you know? I had to scruff him just to get off the cards. Like, most cats would just scurry away. I said, 1 second. Not this guy. Yeah, he's definitely shamanic, though. God, I messed up a little bit when he was a kitten. Just too much. I spoiled him. Okay. See? You don't listen. Yeah, so I guess we'll end it here. It's just a little bit hidden right now, but I feel like you know. Yeah, coming out of that stagnant stuff, it's happening. The next card is the Hangman up is reversed, so you have the sight, you have the wisdom, you see it, and soon you're gonna be ready to come out of that like paused energy, or perhaps this is the other person or connection that we are tapping into, that we started the reading, that's crowning it, the 6 of Cups. So it just seems like we're still in this getting slightly rooted, not the deep roots, but you know, before it's showtime and the tree arises. Okay, so that's what I have today. Okay, I'm feeling called to pull just one more. These are energy cards. I want to pull on, well, it just flew out. Solar plexus. Yeah, okay, so there is some, I would say, heartbreak healing happening. You'd think that would happen in the 4th chakra, heart chakra, but I actually have been taught and am open to also entertaining that it is actually your 3rd chakra, which is your lower emotions, it's your ego that's getting hit, is what's really happening, which to learn that is an ego hit in itself. So if that upsets you, I don't blame you, because it bothered me when I first heard that too. I was like, no, it really, you know, but it kind of is. It kind of is, because it triggers those lower emotions. It really does, you know. When you're in the higher emotions, you're like, I know they're just not ready, or like, you know, their spirit like wanted for the best. Okay, but the lower emotions, it's not that, and it affects your, you know, your confidence or how you feel about yourself. And eat yellow foods, turmeric, bananas, honey. That stuff's getting solved. Okay. Ooh, attachment and contract is coming out. Oh my god. That's insane. This is like literally means a karmic contract. Or it means that something karmic and devilish, something karmic or devilish is being balanced out. Damn. One of these people has a mask on and one of these girls has a blindfold on. This is some really fucking creepy, like, fucking cryptic energy, especially coming out with the High Priestess. Okay, what was I pulling on? Oh my god, I just got so like messed up from that for a second. Okay, so I think somebody's working through a karmic ending. Yeah. Okay, that's what's happening, I'm assuming. But it could be a few different things all tied up. Yeah, okay, so somebody's in a little karmic thing, or they're ending something. It could be, you know, there's many of you guys out there. So ultimately one day when many people are watching these, manifesting, yeah, somebody's still tied up. That's why they're not ready to go out there. Rest time, pause, stagnant energy. Gotta chip away before it's time for the new adventure. Before, you know, gotta, like, I don't know, fix your boat, get the oars ready, maybe get a motor, get the sail, rig the boat, you know. Right now there's an anchor. There's an anchor holding the boat. If to end it on that metaphor, that's what it's feeling like. You know, it's like an anchor, can't see, cloudy, foggy, but you know, you could be having fun. It doesn't have to be glum like that, but somebody's tied up, something's not moving. So that feels like the challenge of the situation. So until next time, folks, thank you so much for being here. Even if one person watches this and it helps anybody, I'm stoked. So have a great night or day and life. Love you.